to UCC.
What up?
Yes. Utah Cannabis Club in the house, man. It's your boy Sep.
It's Wes.
Gabe. JJ.
Antone.
Avi.
Yeet. Yeah.
Full house.
Full house. Everybody.
Yeah.
I'm thankful, man. Hope all you guys been doing well out there. Everyone's doing well on this side.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for listening into this episode. We got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, what are we talking about today, guys?
Laws.
Laws
and regulations. That's what we're going to kind of go over. And especially the Utah market here, we want to kind of dive a little bit deeper than other places, the nation, just so that the consumers here can kind of have a better understanding. So
we are a little behind compared to some states.
As far as the laws go,
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we're bringing attention to this episode right now, is we want to bring a little bit more of the nuances that have came to states that we don't quite have access to, like home grow, flame to flower. I know that Sep and Antone have a bunch of information that they have ready to share with us for the episode. Really excited to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, man. First off, Utah, what are the laws that you guys know of or that we know of for patients and cannabis patients?
Well, first we know that it's legal medicinally.
Nice.
Not recreational.
Not recreationally, which means you have to have
a medical card.
a medical card.
We have a program that allows patients with qualifying conditions to obtain and use cannabis for medical purposes. That's the law.
Nice.
Yep. And it's not unfortunate, but in order to obtain a medical card, like JJ said, you have to have a qualifying condition.
Like AIDS, Alzheimer's, cancer, chronic pain, nausea, autism, PTSD. I mean, we have a few, but they're pretty severe.
Yeah.
You know?
And hopefully it gets, it can get more broad with more diseases that affect people, in small percentages. Hopefully they can get added to those qualifying conditions too, Not every human suffers the same. Everyone suffers differently. So it'd be really cool to see that open up more to a lot more patients. But yeah, that's how you got to get it, man. Through a qualifying condition.
Talk to your...
You go to a QMP. So you'll end up seeing like a qualified medical professional to get your card, and they'll run you through the whole process and everything here.
It's pretty simple too. A lot of people think it's complex just because, but it's a safety net. It provides a safety net for you and your family, job, employment, things like that. You won't be technically, what's the word? Judged, I guess. It starts with the D. Discriminated. You won't technically be discriminated because you are a medical patient.
Right.
So there is that advantage to knowing that the state and doctors and physicians recognize you as a medical patient.
And when you first go, you got to talk to a pharmacist.
Yes.
Your first time you got to talk to a pharmacist. And if you don't know much, they could teach you quite a bit and tell you what's best for you.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions.
For sure.
And I was going to ask you guys because you guys are card holders, what are the places you've gone to? Like, what are some of the places someone could Google from listening to this to go get their card?
Yeah, surprisingly enough, if you didn't know, there is a dispensary for almost each county or city in the state of Utah. So if you're going to go to West Valley, there's Beehive that is a little closer to me. If you were to go to Bountiful, right, you have Wholesome, right? If you were to go to Park City, you have Curaleaf, in Lehigh. In Salt Lake City, I personally go to Dragonfly and Wholesome, as well as Beehive. Here and there, those three are my go-to.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good distance too, and they have good discounts.
I go out to the forest every once in a while.
Nice. I have not gone there yet.
It's nice. It's cool. It's like, so that's the shop that actually feels like it's more. It's not like totally a pharmacy. So where you go in, you're like, okay, like I'm in a medical facility, but when you go in there, it's like the colors are different, so it's like
more laid back.
It's more laid back. Yeah, you're like having more fun. There's music going on. It's fun.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Because the experience is like what matters too. Sometimes you walk in, it can feel like a pharmacy, and then others are like, it feels like a true dispensary, showcasing. You have like the windows that are showing all the products and stuff like that. But yeah. I wish they sold papers. Some dispensary, you know what I mean? That's
Flame
another
to
law that
flower.
kind of stops us. What was that law one more time?
Flame to flower.
No
to
flame to
flower.
flower. You must vaporize your cannabis.
And you hear UCC talk about it all the time, of that being a big restriction for a lot of people not being able to afford the devices that it takes to be able to vaporize your flower efficiently. To be able to utilize your product to its highest potential, you have to spend a pretty penny on any product that you're going to buy for it to be able to combust properly. I'm sure you guys have all tried the cheap $20, $30 vaporizers from the smoke shops. Just because, like, you want to vaporize your flower, right? It's an amazing flavor. It's great. But nobody can afford to do that. And there are a lot of different perspectives on combustion and the carcinogens that are released.
For sure.
But on the same coin, it's like people being able to afford like a high-end medication or a traditional medication.
Yeah.
So there's levels to it, and,
For sure.
and not everybody quite has access to it depending on where you fall financially.
Well, also on the financial part, you know, you get a device that can range from like $100 to $500, $600. How much does papers and a lighter cost?
Oh my God.
$5.
$5, dude.
Right. So,
Probably not even a lighter. Because you already got one.
Exactly. Yeah. You usually just have
it.
one.
That's all.
Yeah. So you just gotta find papers.
Yeah, and I think like the biggest thing is to note that obviously vaporizing is good, and that it can.
It's healthier.
Yeah,
for sure.
it is like proven healthier, but we are also the only state that has that ban for the U.S.
Yeah.
Church ban.
So we're the only ones that have a no flame to flower policy out of everyone else. So out of the 38 other legal states, we're the only one doing this.
Right. There's some that prohibit it, but they don't enforce it at all.
You can still
Utah's the only
light up
state.
cigarettes though in Utah. Just saying.
Yep. They don't make you vaporize
Just
your
throwing it out
tobacco.
That's wrong. You know what I mean? It's
That'd
like
be good.
flip. It's like reverse. I think it'd be good.
That would be
to
good.
vaporize like tobacco. I would ask to grow
I
tobacco
can do
to
that.
vaporize my
Jesus.
own
Wait a
tobacco
minute.
plant. I've seen a homie going that online, and that was really cool. I've never seen a tobacco
High-quality
plant.
tobacco.
And I actually looked it up and seen them all dried up and racked. It was really cool. But speaking on flame to flower, Utah also has an array of ways to consume. You know, oils. That's one of them. What are other ways that you guys know that we
Edibles.
consume here in Utah?
Tincture, edible,
Tincture.
They just passed a law that now
confection.
Arso.
we can do suppositories.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think they're out in the market yet, but it's legal.
it's legal.
Yeah,
And RSO's like
That was passed in
Anton just
May.
said, those things help a lot of the OGs, you know, out there that are listening. You know what he's talking about, man. They got that for the market. Tinctures, tablets. I mean, Javi, like, what do you spray?
RSO syringes, RSO capsules. The capsules are great. You know, it's just like taking a pill or a vitamin.
And different ratios too for
Different
like a lot of that
ratios,
stuff
very
too.
true.
You know, not
Yeah.
just one serve all. There's different kinds of ratios for you.
I like that it's very easy to find a lot of CBD products.
There you go.
And it's very good for you when you mix THC with CBD and CBG, especially if you're experiencing like a lot of pain, a lot of inflammation. It's a lot of good things.
100%.
A lot of good things.
I like that, man.
So I feel like it is a good and well-rounded program, but you know there are some limitations because of the flame to flower.
Right.
You know, not having people that don't have the access to those devices, big part of it. Anto?
Oh, yeah, when you were done that, but like on that note, like the number of pharmacies we're allowed to have the licenses.
Right.
Like I personally think that we don't have enough pharmacies.
Yeah.
No, we
Because
definitely don't.
yeah, there's
We don't have
no,
any, we
and
don't.
I know it's not supposed to be like. There needs to be competition.
Right.
Of like we're all on the same team, but we all do need to compete. At least, like, who does want to grow the best flower? Who does want to have the best concentrates? Who does want to have the best 5-10 carts?
The only reason these licenses are so limited is obvious. It's because they want to slow down, the use of cannabis. Obviously people are going to be using it, but it's like they want to slow it down as much as possible. slow the flow.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why we don't have, they took away the home grow law, like right at the last second. Boop, took that out. No
Home
flames of
cultivation is
flower.
illegal
Like,
in
you know,
Utah.
they're trying to limit it, limit the growth, you know, but eventually, I
It's gotta
think.
flourish.
Oh, they gotta
It's gotta
hop on
flourish
board.
because it's they already see that the numbers right now, like there's way more people than there are pharmacies.
Yeah.
You know now, but it's like you're saying, like competition needs to be more growers, more processors, different products and stuff, and also supplying that demand.
And that'll be the typical answer too. If you were to go ask a pharmacy here, a grower here, I mean anybody, you'd be like, yeah, a politician, you know, what does home grow look like in the state of Utah? You know, they couldn't give you a straight answer, you know, and it's just in fear of what the public could do, you know what I'm saying, with the information.
With the public or with the church?
Well, with the public, right? So if you knew how to grow at home, you would know what's good and bad, you know, and it weeds out like those that are here just for profit, you know, and those that are at home doing this for their medicinal purposes, you know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of the times that barrier to entry sucks, you know what I'm saying, to let more people with licenses, you know what I mean?
And I think also bringing more licenses and stuff, and possibly adding more qualifying conditions where it's only a medical state and stuff, like being able to expand the program is crucial. You know, like we're coming up on 100,000 patients. We got to be. I know one of the episodes we were at 85,000. So like we got to be coming up on a crazy number. And Utah is just such a high traveled to state that I feel like you can't just keep missing out on how much is out there. And the big reason why we also want we say competition, but other facilities to come here too, is to help drive prices down. I mean, if you talk to any patient here in Utah, the first one or two things that they're gonna bring up is the price points, and then like the quality.
Yeah.
And being able to have a more free facility, and then more facilities are gonna help aid that, because they're able to kind of, I mean, having worked in the industry here, you do know that other companies like help each other. Not everybody helps each other, right?
Right.
But for the cannabis industry, you do have a lot of behind the scenes with different brands together, just because you want to help spread knowledge and come from like a good spot, and like that's how I see it. And that's what helps the end product. And I mean, if you're a patient in Utah, you just want a very clean, best, high quality end product that's a reasonable price point.
Exactly.
Can't ask 100%.
For more. One of the biggest things that I always notice, like with that, is price point, you know, quality, and then also, do you guys know if public consumption is legal? It's not, right, in Utah.
Emergency use.
Emergency use. So you hear that, guys, and that's one of the things I always hear a lot of my homies getting caught up on is public consumption. Whether it's, you know, 12 rolling up behind them, you know what I'm saying, at a park, you know. So just be weary of the Utah laws of that. You know, if you're a medical patient, it still applies to you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So just looking out for you. And you know, we don't have a really big like rosin program, I noticed, here in Utah too. That's one thing I'd really like to see more people come into with products and SKUs. But yeah, those are just some of the laws that are pertaining to Utah. Suppositories, like JJ said, the entry to barrier entries, like you said, finances and stuff like that. But if you go down like 300 miles down in Nevada, you can cultivate 6 plants.
12 per
12
household.
plants per person, 6 plants per person, right?
Yeah, 12 per household. So
go down to Arizona, you could cultivate plants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's where definitely have to learn from other markets, in my opinion.
Bling, bling, bingo, bingo, bingo.
I mean, if we're the only state that doesn't allow flame to flower, and I think that's one of the biggest hindrances, just because you go to other markets and you see how much pre-rolls and those kind of items are selling, and like that's something that would be great here in this program.
Oh yeah, dude. Because
that's something
pass through a lot.
Yeah, that's something overnight
oh
would probably be at the dispensaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they'd work to get it there as quick as possible, just because that is such a big sell item. And I mean, who doesn't for me as a consumer, like I love being able to go to a market and get that one joint to be able to try something maybe before I buy a huge batch, or I'm on the go and I don't need a lot to be able to have that in there. So
yeah, those would be super beneficial to our market.
Yeah.
You know, because people do pass through here a lot.
No, exactly.
And we already do accept out-of-state medical patients as well.
There you go.
And so that's one thing that is actually pretty nice about the program, is that out-of-state medical patients can apply for a temporary medical card here, with just
still
showing
be able to go.
Yeah, the temporary one is
and they'll
So
be
how
able
do
to go
you-
to our dispensary.
How do you get the temporary card? Can we walk them through, like if someone's listening and they're from out of state and they want to come to Utah and try our market, like how would they get a card?
So it's actually pretty easy. You can go onto the state medical site, the state medical cannabis program site, which I can't remember it on the top of my head, but you go on that site and you basically you have to create a profile.
It's the evs.utah.gov.
You heard it there. evs.utah.gov.
Yep.
So you go on there and you create a profile. Then you choose out of state medical patient, and from there it should be able to guide you to
you put all your information in there.
Exactly, putting your information, uploading your ID and your medical card, and just wait for you just send it off, and then wait for it to be accepted. Typically takes I'm pretty sure now it's like probably immediate. It's about 1 to 5 minutes.
So yeah, in state they do it 3 times a day. It's like 9 a.m., 5 and 9 p.m. 5 p.m.
So yeah, you should get it
or something
same
like that.
day, if not next day.
And then
Or if
even-
it's late,
even
you'll
the
get
day
it
before, because they're good for 21 days.
Yeah.
They're good for 21 days, so you can even get it a week before you come through Utah.
But you may be issued 2 21-day cards per calendar year. So you can only get 2 a year.
Dang, so choose wisely. If you come in spending time with your in-laws during Christmas, you know when to lock in, man. Lock it in.
You better get your limit. That's what you better do is get your limit.
Come try some Utah concentrates.
Yeah, we
Some
got
edibles.
you.
We got some pretty crazy edibles, I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
But,
There's some mean ass edibles.
I think that's another law that we could change, is the edibles too. I know that's kind of like can be a problem here, is that we only allow gummies. So we don't,
not anymore, right?
Not anymore.
Confections.
Confections.
They just changed the bill.
Just no chocolate.
No chocolate, so
There you
cookies, I think.
no chocolate.
So
And then,
caramels.
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 Just some honey.
Come through.
Honey would be the next. That'd be the awesome one right there.
I know, like,
Honey was
just on that side, I mean, edibles can get
sticks.
crazy. I mean, edibles, who doesn't want, obviously, chocolate to go to, I feel like, and then, for me, you just see a bunch of, like, what I see is, like, cupcakes, a bunch of different, like, you know what I mean? Some shops out in Cali and stuff, like, different donuts with icings, and you can get, like, a drink, like, one of the liquid
Drinks.
on
The
the way out and stuff, and so...
The liquid suspensions. Man.
Oh yeah,
I just think
that's
like
another
some
law
stuff like
was,
that. You know what I mean? Just and
was
like that's
kinda
part of just expanding. Like we're at the point we're so
Variety,
small, we just got to expand some of
We
our
gotta
ideas
expand.
and stuff.
Facts. So right, man. We gotta
We've been taking the shots lately. That there's kind of the same liquid suspension. It's like I think it's like a 10 milligram shot.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're pretty fun because on the go, it's cool. Like when we went to the concert, we had those and just whoop right before we went in. I'm like, okay.
I think that's awesome. Imagine taking like an edible. I mean, I don't know about some of you before a flight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're,
I smoke up
you know,
before a flight.
exactly before a flight.
Yeah.
If you're taking it on a road trip, if you're going to a concert, you know what I mean? Be weary, but yeah, Utah has an array of those different types of ways to consume. You know, I'm sure a lot of people take their daily routinely trips out of state, flying and whatnot. But
with those laws, talking about flying, it still is federally illegal.
illegal.
And, even driving, it's not legal. You will get in trouble if you get caught taking out-of-state products to another state.
Yeah, and in Utah, you have to have like your medical pharmacy receipt if you're a medical patient when you go get your product. when your product is in.
And I've heard of a lot of friends flying with product and totally being fine. So it really depends on how the TSA feels that day and their local laws. They'll usually enforce those.
For sure.
But if you piss them off, they'll be like, "Hey, we just federally charged you." So just be wary, be careful.
Yes,
We don't recommend breaking the law.
Also, if you're flying international,
oh my gosh,
leave your stuff at home.
Yeah, they got alcohol and cigars in different countries too. You can enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? You don't really gotta bring the tree with you, you know what I'm saying? Don't risk it for the biscuit. You know what I'm saying? And don't even try to pack it in your bag. Don't be that person that we all find out in the news.
He said, "Hey, I scooped out a peanut butter jar and put it in the middle."
You try to mix it with lint and all that shit. No, man.
Dogs love peanut butter. They'll just freak out because it's peanut butter.
Well, and the world's cracking down. Yeah.
You will end up in prison.
Yeah, and other countries don't really give a crap too.
Yeah. Depends on the country.
Depends on the country. Yes. So check
even though
those
America's
laws.
leading the nation and the world in cannabis regulation, and a lot of the countries around the world are backpedaling because they realize oh shoot, the influence that this is having on people, you know what I mean? Oh snap. So yeah, I think America still continues to lead it, but yeah, be careful when you're traveling, man. Just if you know, you know. If you don't you know what I'm saying? If you don't for real.
I'm not one to bring anything
yeah,
back.
you know, you know what I'm saying?
I consume where I am if I'm flying, and if I don't, the Airbnb or wherever I'm staying, they get some gifts.
I hope one day my Airbnb.
I hope our Airbnb. We've left some sometimes. Just a few pre-rolls, an eighth. I'm I'm not taking with me.
Come on.
There you go. Leave your Airbnb host a guest.
I guess. I'm having a friend stay in your house forever. Yes, a gift.
No, but I think traveling with it, definitely be cautious. And if you're going to go out of country, especially if it's to somewhere that is legal, for sure, just don't worry about it. Touch on that. If you're going to Amsterdam, you know what I'm saying? You're going to Spain, or you're going to Morocco. You're going somewhere that that you could probably find it easier than I just relax.
I found it in Mexico, man.
Yeah.
It was great.
I would say though, bringing it a little back to Seth brought it up of having the receipt here in Utah, right? If you go buy something at a pharmacy, it does have to be original packaging. You know what I mean? With the receipt, everything in the car, or and if you deviate from that, if you start opening things and that's where you can get possibly charged with DUI and stuff, driving under the influence, where even if you haven't, if something was open stuff missing, the cop has to report that.
I mean, technically, you're supposed to put it in your trunk, right? Or away from you,
out of reach.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So that's why it's nice to have a backpack that you can lock or something. That's a good way, because that takes multiple steps to unlock. And if you're driving, it's
if there's a company out there, if you're a company out there that freaking makes smell-proof backpacks, we'll sponsor you.
Shout out
Skunk bags. I was gonna say skunk bags.
They've been tried and true over here.
Seth was pay us before we talk about you.
Nah, people should know.
Skunk bags
are awesome.
They're so cool.
You gotta invest to protect yourself.
There was one back in the day. I don't know if they still are out there, but dime bags. They had a whole line of smell-proof bags. Yeah, and they just had the dope graphic of a dime, stoner on there or whatever. Yeah, it was cool. Those were cool. Those are the only two I know of, though.
Yeah, smell-proof bags.
No, and that just helps you watch out for yourself. Yeah, I know exactly. It just helps you be safer. Helps you maybe give you peace of mind, feel at ease, and so.
Yeah.
Is there any other laws, any other regulations that you guys want to touch on for Utah? At least,
man, I think we've covered pretty much the basics of Utah. What to consume, how to go about being a medical patient, how to stay safe.
No using in front of kids.
Utah is very, very huge on child safety, packaging and things like that. Well, in California, but Utah laws, anyways. I was gonna bring up the new California vape law, but we'll touch on that next time.
No, honestly, one thing.
Go.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, he brought up packaging, and I was gonna say that's what's pretty crazy. Here in the market, you want everything to be pretty much a like medicinal. Everything's black and white bottle almost, like no colors. Like try to keep it like everything toned
Very
down,
minimal.
matte color too, not very metallic bold.
Monotone.
You look at like California or Michigan, other markets in general, and it's like
Frosted
you have
Flakes.
seriously, you have like Frosted Flakes, you got like
Crazy
cereal,
cartoon
you got
on there.
Right, glazed donuts, and you're like, what the freak, dude?
yeah, the Mylar bags and stuff be going
Yeah.
absolutely crazy.
It is crazy.
I mean, that's a huge tip to your hat in a sense to the brands and stuff out there. I know like some of them be going like extra crazy. What comes to mind is like Good Pizza. I know that they're in Oakland, and so you get like go there, get an eighth, and it's in like a little pizza like
Fun.
Mylar bag. You know what I'm saying? It says like Good Pizza on it and stuff. It's pretty sick.
Come on, branding, dude. That's so sick.
It's important.
Yeah.
I feel like, the market is very limited. That's what I was gonna say too. Is what you brought up. It limits the market's ability to just be. Yeah, the companies. Yeah. It limits their ability to be creative and just I don't know, make it feel like it's not a medicine, just a a medicine.
Yeah.
That's just like so taboo and stuff. You know.
No, that's true.
Have some vibes.
For
Some vibes on it.
sure.
Yeah, let it be fun. Fun packaging creates potential more
It does entice.
Our sense would be patients, but in the rec states it would be customers.
I mean,
So, like-
do corporations not do that when they're blasting colorful packaging on the Trix,
Oh, yeah.
cereal or the purple Doritos bags that's like blasting in your eyes because they chose the right color tone to market your eyes that looks really good. You know what I'm saying? So these companies know what they're doing, and maybe
And the state knows what they're doing.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and as much as they want to stay, it's like for safety. Like it comes down to you as a consumer when you have your stuff at home. Keep it out of reach. Be safe with it. Don't let the kiddos get to it. You know what I'm saying? Treat it like your firearms, or if you're consuming alcohol and tobacco, things like that. But yeah, that's cannabis for you in Utah.
Yeah.
And kind of like a wrap. You know what I'm saying? What to consume. You guys kind of heard all the different ways to consume cannabis. If you're vacationing here, how to go about it to get a temporary card. And how to go about being a med patient as well. And those are kind of the basics. We'll touch on more in the next couple episodes as we cover various topics of legislation across the United States. But that kind of covers it for our Utah 101 on laws, guys. It's the UCC in the house, man. We thank you guys for joining us today. Any last word from the boys, man?
I just want to appreciate all the
Sorry,
listeners.
vape up.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for
Yeah.
listening. Appreciate all y'all.
Yes, we love all the support, everything that
For
you
real.
guys do,
Yeah.
all the love, and so
We hope your summer's
Much
going
love.
well. Yep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hope you smoke
Exactly.
some nice summer strains.
Exactly.
Find some nice
Something for
What was that? Our
you.
last, I think our 2 episodes we talk about summer strains. I think so.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so go ahead and rewind that back if you want to find some
Go
summer
check it out.
strains.
Yeah.
Go ahead and drop some love on those episodes, guys. If you want to find more information, man, tune into Utah Cannabis .club on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, podcast. Also, give me that name one more time, huh? Because I jacked it up.
That's Utah. That's at utah.cannabis.club.
Boing, boing, boing. It's your boy Sep.